All right, thanks a lot, Ali. So I'm excited to talk about what's new with Unity Catalog. And I think Unity Catalog is actually one of the most unique things Databricks has been doing in this industry that's really transforming the industry. So everyone who's working in data and AI today has probably heard the term governance and knows that it's very complex. This includes security, quality, compliance, troubleshooting, and so on. And the problem is that in today's fragmented data world, in most organizations, you have to do this across a whole bunch of different systems that do all these functions in slightly different ways. So you have a fragmented view of all the assets you're using for data and AI, and you have these totally disparate tools where you have to kind of map your policies or your goals into each of them to get things to work. Unity Catalog is really the industry's first unified catalog across data and AI that we launched here at Databricks, GA'd last year. It's the only thing out there that actually understands all the types of data and also understands the computations you do with them in our platform and can provide a uniform way to do access control, to do lineage, to do discovery, monitoring, data sharing, and so on. And just a few weeks ago, we also announced that Unity Catalog is adding an Apache Hive API, which is the open standard for catalogs in open source that will allow basically any engine that understands Hive to talk to it. So it can be a central point of management for all your workloads. So we've been rolling this out. You know, it's a major new project, and we've added a whole bunch of features in the past year. The one I'm most excited about is easier migration and interop with Apache Hive. But today, I mostly want to talk to you about 3 things that are transforming what Unity Catalog can do that we're launching at this summit. The first is greatly expanding Unity Catalog to have enterprise-wide reach. I'll tell you what that means in a sec. Second is governance features for AI, a whole bunch of new ones that we're launching. And then finally, AI for governance, which is also making it much easier to do this. So let's talk about enterprise-wide reach. As much as we love the Lakehouse, we believe in a unified data platform, most companies have data scattered into many silos. It's very costly to move around, to consolidate. It will take a long time. It may even be impossible depending on how you want to set up your org structure because you may want distributed ownership. But despite that, people would like to have a single point for users inside their company to access all the data, regardless of what system it's in. Why repeat that work many times? And also to manage and govern all the data. So that's what we're doing now with Unity Catalog. We're enabling it to manage and let people work with data in all these other systems, basically any kind of data warehouse database out there. And we're calling that Lakehouse Federation, and it's actually going in public preview later this month. So, yeah. So here's how Lakehouse Federation works. Basically, within Databricks, you can connect data sources that can be any of these other systems. And inside the Databricks UI, they just appear as catalogs. And you can use all the features for setting permissions, getting audit logs, and so on these. So all access to these through the Databricks UIs is going to be governed, and you'll get to manage all of this centrally. You can use access control tags and so on. We will lock down what your users can do with this data. At the same time, we've also spent a lot of work optimizing the way the engine works with these kind of queries across data sources. So we can parallelize work, we can push queries efficiently into each data source, we can cache results so that your users get excellent performance across all these data sources. So when you get a query like this that combines, say, Postgres and Delta Lake data, it can push the right kind of filtering into Postgres and make it happen quickly. And then the other thing that we're working on that's coming later is policy push into warehouses. So once you set up your policy, we can also push it in the source system for it to implement there, for apps that talk directly to that. So it's a very powerful capability because it means everything you do in Databricks, data science, analytics, machine learning, generative AI, all that stuff, you can now easily do it across all your data. And it's a very powerful enabler if you want to set up a data mesh architecture with distributed ownership, or just if you want to make the ingest process, the process of working with the latest data, easier. So that's Lakehouse Federation. This is just one of our preview customers, Bayer, who's saying how they're using it to provide this unified point. Very excited to see what you do with it in preview. The second thing we're launching into public preview is governance for AI. So when you work on AI, you have to work with a lot of things beyond tables. You have to work with unstructured data files, models, feature functions, various things like that. And today, they're often managed in completely different software platforms. With governance for AI in Unity Catalog, you get all these objects inside your catalog. MLflow models, this is basically the new model registry for Databricks users, feature tables, and also volumes which can store large amounts of unstructured data. And you can just manage them all in one place. Very simple, but very powerful feature. And for example, you get stuff like the lineage that Unity Catalog does that works across data tables, feature tables, models, and also the output of models, what Casey showed with Lakehouse Monitoring of logging all the inferences. And you can actually trace what's happening in your application across them. So this is also going into public preview now. Cool. And then, last but not least, we can also apply AI to governance. So we talked a little bit about Lakehouse Monitoring because it's so essential in ML. Basically, whether you have data tables or models, we will automatically do quality profiling, anomaly and drift detection, data classification, and we let you plug in custom monitoring, custom algorithms you want to monitor these as they change. And we expose all this information in tables, visualizations, alerts, and of course, you can use it in policies. So this is a major new feature of Unity. And so, for example, if you have a data table, we will automatically classify PII in it and tag those columns. And if you have a model, you'll get these nice monitoring dashboards. We're also launching improved observability with more system tables for different things you do in Databricks, like billing, logs, audit, lineage, what called what. All of them are available as tables that you can analyze. And we're also building a whole bunch of powerful dashboards to help you monitor the whole Lakehouse. And so this is also going into public preview later this month. So yeah, so that's what's new in Unity Catalog. Quick tour, but this is a very important element of our platform that makes it much easier for teams to work together, powers things like Lakehouse IQ, and will power a lot of the optimizations that we do as well. But that's kind of enough of me talking. To do a demo of this, I'd like to invite Carl Juhas, a Senior Director of Field Engineering, who will show you all these new features together. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Matei. Let's take a closer look at some of those features Matei covered that we've recently introduced to Unity Catalog. We'll start off in Data Explorer. Here, we can see a list of objects that we've registered to our Unity Catalog. To get us started, I'll open up Retail Prod, where I know my team is building a turn prediction model. What I love about this view is that I can see this model here along with previous versions, metadata, comments, right next to the data that was used to train it. I can look at sample data, history, and lineage. I can also see files or non-tabular data and functions associated with the project right here in the same schema. So this is governance for AI. You might have also noticed as I was clicking through here in the catalog that with Lakehouse Federation, we can now access external systems like MySQL, Postgres, and Snowflake from directly within Data Explorer, which is huge because lots of organizations still have a long tail of sources yet to be ingested in the Lakehouse. You want to permission and govern and manage it from one place. So for example, if I want to give my analysts access to query this Postgres table, all I have to do is click permissions and then hit analysts, hit select, click grant. And with that, they have access to query this table with all of the bells and whistles of Unity Catalog, like auto-detection of PII and masking. And as Matei mentioned, in the future, this will actually push down to the source system, in this case, Postgres. So look forward to that. Now, Data Explorer is great when I know what assets I want to work with and what operations I want to carry out. But what if I want a high-level health check across my entire data estate? I'll pop over to my dashboards and open up our Unity Catalog governance portal. Here, I can see all of the assets and users belonging to my data ecosystem with a monitoring and governance snapshot. For example, of my 143,000 tables, I can see that about 60% of them are monitored with Lakehouse Monitoring, or AI for governance. For these tables, we have alerts and dashboards set up to auto-detect, and in a lot of cases, auto-correct issues like potential PII leakage, data quality, data drift, and more. This dashboard's great because I can see how my governance and monitoring evolve over time, as well as my user count. I can also see which catalogs need some attention based on some high-level health metrics. And at the very bottom of this dashboard, you'll see one of my favorite features, which is that the system is surfacing some of those auto-detected issues for my review. If you remember, retail prod is my team's project. So I'm definitely concerned about potential personally identifiable information getting into that table. Let's open Lakehouse Monitoring for that table and see what's going on. OK, we see this active alert up top here. And what's special about this view is I can see how things have evolved over time. So I can see when it was created and updated. I can also see how the table's grown and rose. And I can see that this alert just happened today, which is great. Hopefully, I have some time to mitigate and contain any potential impact. Let's see what else the system discovered about this potential PII. Looks like it's happening in a column called user attributes for 7.8% of the rows in the form of a first or last name. Let's get a sample value to see if we can actually further validate this. OK, looks like this is a JSON string with some additional attributes passed in that do, in fact, look like names. So I want to make sure the system is automatically masking this for me. And I want to see if we can figure out how the PII got introduced in the first place. So I'm going to open that table back up in Data Explorer. And I can see here that alert. I scroll down. Looks like the system did automatically tag this, so I know it's being masked. And if I pop open the lineage graph here, we can see this table highlighted in red with an alert. But we can also see it joins lots of different tables from different systems. So to figure out where the PII came from, I'm going to click this user attributes column and trace that back to Postgres. Now I know to follow up with the Postgres team to see if this is expected or if we need further mitigation. If I follow that column downstream, I can see that this powers a feature table, which, powers our turn prediction model. If PII gets in there, we're going to be out of compliance. So it's important to me to roll this back if that's the case. Let's check this model out in Data Explorer and see what needs to happen. OK, it does look like version 2 was trained today. So in order to serve the actual safe model, all I have to do, because our system is set up to serve the version alias this champion, is go ahead and version alias version 1 as champion. Great. And with that, I now know I'm serving the safe model. So a lot happened in the last couple minutes. The system auto-detected an issue for me. It surfaced it. It automatically masked and contained the PII. It helped me diagnose where it came from, and it helped me mitigate and contain the impact to a downstream model. That's a crazy efficient workflow compared to what I used to have to do. And with all that extra time savings, I think I deserve an extra long coffee break. But before I do, let's tie this back to the 3 themes that Matei covered. We saw enterprise-wide reach, if you remember, in MySQL and Postgres and Snowflake showing up directly within Unity Catalog. We saw governance for AI in the form of the functions and models and feature stores also being registered to Unity Catalog. And we saw AI for governance in the form of Lakehouse Monitoring, detecting that potential PII and automatically mitigating any potential impact for us. Super exciting stuff. Now, another really exciting capability of Unity Catalog is the fact that it enables enterprises to collaborate and share. Here to talk to us more about developments on that front is Zaheera Valani. Please welcome Zaheera onto the stage, our Senior Director of Engineering. Thank you.
Thank you, Carol. Good morning. I'm so excited to be here. So this is a data-savvy audience. So I'm sure you're sharing data internally within your organizations. But raise your hand if you're sharing data externally with your customers or partners. Okay, I see hands going up. Now raise your hand if you wish this was easier. Oh, still see lots of hands up. We hear from our customers that building a strategy for data sharing and collaboration can seem like a massive mountain to climb. Enterprises want open collaboration for data and AI with trust. You want to be able to acquire that data easily. You want to get value from that data quickly, and you need to be able to trust it. For an organization like Edmunds, data sharing and collaboration is at the core of their business. They share data with customers, people shopping for cars. They share data with their partners, and even with competitors for use cases like inventory reconciliation. All of this starts with trust. The data that flows through their business and their ecosystem is filled with PII and other sensitive information that must be secured and governed properly. And as they acquire second and third-party data, they need to be able to procure that data easily and make sure that it's valid. The Databricks Lakehouse platform is purpose-built for Edmunds and many organizations to collaborate on data and AI. The platform provides a comprehensive set of tools to securely collaborate on data and AI. With the platform, users can share data and AI assets across platforms and clouds. And this flexibility is achieved with strong security and governance by integrating Delta sharing with Unity Catalog so that you can track, govern, and audit access to these shared data sets. Delta sharing is the foundation that makes all of this possible. 2 years ago, we announced the open source Delta sharing project, the industry's first open protocol for secure data sharing. With Delta sharing, providers can easily share live data sets without replication. And consumers can connect to this data without having to be tied to a specific vendor solution. Since launch, we've seen incredible adoption from organizations. There's petabytes of data that are being shared daily. This is data that is processed and shared across organizations. Now, built on Delta sharing are other collaboration capabilities, including the Databricks Marketplace. So what differentiates the Databricks Marketplace? Many cloud providers offer data marketplaces. But when we asked data providers, they shared with us that they run into limitations. One such limitation is that each marketplace is closed to its specific cloud or platform. So if you're a data provider and you've put in all this work to create this data set, now you need to put in more effort to publish it to 10 different platforms. Existing marketplaces are also limited to just data sets. The Databricks Marketplace is an open marketplace. So for providers, you can reach users on any platform. You can monetize more than just data, and you can share this data securely. And for consumers, you can discover more than just data. You can evaluate data products faster because the assets include notebooks and visualizations. And you don't have to be a Databricks customer to take advantage of the Databricks Marketplace. It's truly open. One of our marquee partners, the London Stock Exchange, is a provider in the marketplace. And they're really excited to be able to get access to more consumers and be able to have customers get insights faster. The Databricks Marketplace has been in preview for a few months now, and we have many providers across a variety of industries, everything from healthcare to life sciences to retail. And we have hundreds of listings already in the marketplace. Today, I'm really excited to announce that the Databricks Marketplace is generally available. Available today in the marketplace, you can share data sets and notebooks. You can share and monetize data assets in the public marketplace, or you can set up a private exchange to share data securely with the organizations of your choice. But that's not all. We've seen so much demand for AI models that we're doubling down our investments. Coming soon, you'll be able to discover and share AI models in the marketplace. Let me show you how this will work. So here we are in the Databricks Marketplace. Let me walk you through it from the perspective of an end consumer. So let's imagine that I'm an analyst in a large healthcare organization, and I'm looking for an AI tool to help me summarize medical notes. Here in the Databricks Marketplace, I can see there's a variety of data products available to me. Everything from financial data products from providers like S&P to healthcare products from providers like IQVIA. So let's search for summarize medical notes. Let's take a look at this data product from John Snow Labs. Now, John Snow Labs is an AI company that helps healthcare and life sciences organizations put AI to work faster. Here, I can see that John Snow Labs has provided an overview of the data product. There are 6 models and a sample notebook to help me understand how to use the model. But where I can really speed up my understanding is to actually just try it. I'll select an example, and I can see the model output all right here. I'm getting to do this exploratory analysis and to evaluate the data product before I acquire it. Now that I'm confident I want to get it, I can click on Get Instant Access. And in less than a second, the data product is now available for me. All of this was powered by Delta sharing. Behind the scenes, when I clicked on Get Instant Access, the provider is automatically provisioning the 6 models and the notebook in my workspace. And so now I can run the model directly from within the notebook, or I can invoke it from a model serving endpoint. So, yeah, someone's excited about that. I just walked you through discovering, evaluating, and acquiring a model in the Databricks Marketplace. Every organization wants to leverage AI as a catalyst for innovation, productivity, and even cost savings. The Databricks Marketplace helps democratize AI by distributing both open source as well as proprietary models. Now, what if you could discover and connect to pre-built applications that already incorporate AI to solve your use cases so that you don't have to find the trusted data and find the right AI model and then figure out how to put all of that together? That's just too much work. Today, I'm thrilled to introduce Lakehouse Apps. Lakehouse Apps are a new way to build, deploy, and manage applications for the Databricks platform. There are a lot of amazing startups and software vendors out there solving important use cases. So let's say you're a startup and you've built a compelling data application that leverages AI. First, you need to promote your application and find potential customers. And once you've found a potential customer, you have to go through a lengthy legal security review process before your application can be deployed in the customer's environment. You also have to figure out how the app is going to securely access the customer's data. With Lakehouse Apps, because data never leaves the customer's Databricks instance, this means no lengthy review process. And through the Databricks Marketplace, you get access to Databricks' over 10,000 customers. And for app developers, you can use the language and platform of your choice. Our early development partners include platforms like Retool and Posit. And for organizations, you're getting incredible business value by being able to discover and connect to these pre-built applications that solve your use cases. So let me show you how Lakehouse Apps will work in the marketplace. So here we are, back again in the Databricks Marketplace. Let's take a look at Kumo.ai. Yes. So Kumo.ai is a startup in the AI space, and their goal is to automate the end-to-end machine learning process directly on your enterprise data. So let's add the application. And I'll zoom in here a little. We'll select the tables in Unity Catalog that we want to be able to share with Kumo. I'll click on Next. We'll deploy the application. And once it's deployed, I can launch the application right here from within Databricks. Here in Kumo, I can see the tables that we just added from Unity Catalog. And because Lakehouse apps are running securely in the Databricks instance, this means that all of this can be secured and governed properly. So let's take a look at this in action. I'll go to the prediction phase. And there's a prediction that's already been created. So Kumo has a powerful abstraction called the predictive query. It's a declarative language that defines the machine learning tasks. So you write the query, and then Kumo will build the ML pipeline end-to-end. This specific query is predicting which customers will stop making transactions in the next 60 days based on which ones have been active in the past 60 days. These predictions can then be exported back to Unity Catalog, where they can be used in Databricks SQL or as input in other AI models. Now, all of this is running securely within the Databricks instance. With Lakehouse Apps, you can be sure to make sure that it is governed and run securely because the application is running right next to the data. Now, there are more challenging collaboration use cases that the Lakehouse platform helps you solve. Let's say that you're a retailer and you're working with an advertiser. You both have questions about how campaigns are doing together, but neither of you can share the data with the other because of privacy reasons. So how can you collaborate? This is where the Databricks clean rooms can help. So with Databricks clean rooms, collaborators can share and join their existing data and run workloads in any language on the data, all the while maintaining data privacy. We have partner integrations and solutions that will enhance your clean room experience. Habu's clean room technology works seamlessly with Databricks. With clean rooms on the Lakehouse, we're evolving from simple data sharing to secure joint compute. This was just a preview of what's coming next. We have a lot of investments planned for Lakehouse collaboration, everything from adding transaction support in the marketplace to code approval workflows in clean rooms. For all of these areas, we'd love to hear more from you on your use cases. The Databricks platform is ready for your collaboration workloads. I'm really excited to see how you use it to collaborate with ease and trust. Thank you.